Bloomereenos! Oh, dragons. You pop with that?
I like dragons.
I like dragons.
So,
You remember that book I had? I remember I brought it once to school in elementary, and it was just the guide for dragons or some shit like that.
Oh yeah. I still haven't read any of the books you sent me. I started reading one.
Hey, I finished Dynamic Freedom.
Yeah?
It's out there. It's wacky.
You want to tell the audience?
All right. Hey, we got our first book review that I completely forgot to start doing. Thank you, Cha-Cha. Let me get a thing. Yeah. All right. Entertain them while I dig through the backpack.
All right.
Or
well, she's doing that.
Or la mochila. We're gonna do the door thing.
The door.
The door.
All right. Right now, gonna give you a little fast food review. Right now, eating some plantain chips with salt.
But like
they're good.
The off-brand though.
Kind of have.
Are those the ones with garlic?
ASMR.
Wait. Give me a chip. I want to bite it directly into the speaker. Hold on.
This is that crunch. And to drink, we have an Arizona half and half iced tea lemonade.
These chips taste like shit.
And this is signed by
a golfer.
A golfer.
Well, that's what he's eating. I'm eating Arizona raspberry iced tea and confetti gummy candy strawberry kiss. See, that's the difference between us. He's salty. I am pre-diabetic.
Diabetic.
I think I'm gonna get diabetes when I get older.
I want a kitty cat.
A kitty cat? Oh, the kitty cat looks...
I'm gonna lure him.
You're gonna lure him?
Gatito.
Oh. Gatito. Yo, no, that cat... No. Roll up your windows. He's a mestizo cat. He's a calico, so he's part black. Roll up your windows.
Why roll up my windows? It's hot.
It's a joke.
Ah.
Roll up, it's a bad neighborhood.
But, okay.
Alright, right. Book review. Alright, I got this out of my grandma's 60-year collection of books. Alright? This was originally my great-grandfather's. Because he was, I think he was a Freemason. I'm not sure.
Oh, he read all that?
He had all that stuff. You know, fun fact. He got to New York as a stowaway in a ship. And I've been told that the only thing he had was like the clothes on his back, a bottle of rum, and some water.
Yo, that's crazy.
That's what I've been told since I was a kid. So I'm gonna believe it. I'm gonna believe it. But okay, so I gotta say this with a southern accent.
It's hard. Yeah, say it.
Dynamic Freedom. It has 4 little bulletins, 4 little stars on the cover that say, they're the different sections of the book. Our freedom documents. Communism, enemy of all freedom. Why public schools? Free enterprise, an American invention. And I noticed that this is the revised edition. Now, this shit's from 1977. And it's signed by the Sovereign Grand Master.
Come on, take it serious. It's like...
the Sovereign Grand Commander. Now, Jesus. Robert B. Watts, 33rd degree. I don't know what that means. You know about Freemasonry.
That's the highest rank.
That's the highest rank. Director of Education. Oh wait, this is compiled by him. That's not read by him. written. Whatever, Supreme Council. Well, still, it started off with our freedom documents, and like it has like your basic stuff. It has, the Declaration of Independence. It has, the presidents relating to the Constitution. It has the American Creed. That's something that a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just a Freemason thing, but I read it. I would feel that it would make sense if it was a more nationally known thing,
Yeah, especially like the ranks, I guess.
I did find something very interesting that I enjoyed. It was the call to arms, and that's kind of like we want to defend ourselves. We want to start a war.
Mm-hmm.
It was written by this dude Patrick Henry. And I read this really fast. Like I read this in a day, so you guys can like read it in probably less than that because I'm a bit of a slow reader. Correction, I'm a slow reader that skims.
You skim, you glean.
I read the whole thing.
You take what's important.
Exactly. Like I'm a slow reader once I hit a page that seems interesting, but once I get bored, I read really, really fast. And I don't absorb anything at all. But I do it automatically. It's not my fucking fault. But still, like, it starts out... I'm just gonna read the first two sentences that just, like, really stuck with me. And this was written in 1775. This was the year before the independence, I think.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So it says, Mr. President... Can't do it seriously. Mr. President, it is natural to man to indulge in the illusions of hope. We are apt to shut our eyes against the painful truth. Now, I'm not going to say anything more than that, but a final question that says, is this part of wise men engaged in a great and arduous struggle for liberty? I fucking hate how I can't take it serious. But that, I understand now why there's like a huge gun culture in the United States. But after reading the...
It's a good thing.
It is. I do enjoy guns.
It actually holds the freedom.
I do enjoy guns. But, when they're meant to defend, not to cause terror. Because, we, as Gen Zs, as the fucking old people would say, because everything to them is a generational thing. We're not people, we're generations. We're gonna talk about that more throughout the series. So we're gonna relate to a lot of generational stuff, just so you can understand who we're talking to. But I understand why a lot of people are kind of iffy about guns.
Yeah.
It's kind of a double-edged sword. Or double-barrel gun, if you know what I mean.
Ew.
But, there's also kind of iffy shit here. Things that you kind of go like, ooh, maybe no, maybe not. Maybe not. Like, I understand this is all back in the olden days. This 1600s, 1500s, 1700s. Religion was like a main factor here. And it's interesting. But do you know your first right?
No.
Freedom of speech.
Right.
It's the freedom of... Wait, let me find it here.
They don't teach you this in school.
They don't. Not where we're from. At least not here. That sucks. Okay, the first article in the Bill of Rights. Freedom of religion, speech, started doing that shit again.
Hold on.
The starter shit?
Yeah.
I gotta go see something about that. Alright. Freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and the right of petition. That's just the first article. And then Article 2 is the right of people to bear arms, not to be infringed. And then, it goes down, and there's a couple of other articles, but let's just focus on these two right now. Freedom of speech and freedom of religion. Let's focus on those. freedom of speech is important. It's so crucial, right? But if you have freedom of speech, there's also the other guy also has the freedom to shut you up, or not silence you. I don't like it when people silence. I like it when they actually discuss why.
They have a proper
discussion, a civilized discussion, instead of shut up. I don't like that. With freedom of religion, it's funny that that's here, even though, like, our government still has, like, heavy ties with religion.
Yeah, like Freemasonry.
Yeah, Freemasonry.
Most of the people in government are Freemasons.
They are.
And people from those brotherhoods.
That's why I said, like, at least America, what I've seen, is run by Freemasons and Jews.
Jews mostly, like, control the financial systems.
Have you seen what's going on in Israel? They're the new Silicon Valley.
Yeah, they moved.
I'm thinking about converting to Judaism, just so
I
can get to that advantage of the law of return. Do you know about that?
No.
I think we touched this on another episode, but just in case if we did, law of return is basically a law that the Israeli government put out. Anyone who is a Jew, anyone who's Jewish, currently practicing, who always was, who was born into it, or I'm not sure if converted people count, but they just have an automatic citizenship in Israel. And, that's not that bad. Now, guys, don't completely quote me on this. We are two dumbasses just talking shit, We don't know everything. But still, like the whole freedom of religion thing, I understand why, in the 1600s, the Mayflower came over here. Alright, and then I found the Mayflower Compact. The Mayflower Compact in this first section of the book. And it just starts out with the first sentence that scared the bejesus out of me. And it starts out, "In the name of God, amen."
That's it.
That's the first sentence. And I was automatically, uh-oh, what are we doing?
Why, it's like back in the day.
Yes, back in the day, but remember everyone back in the day was crazy. Yeah. But,
Not really. In some ways, they were more civilized.
Yes and no. Because, they still, fucking burned people at the stake.
Yeah, coming.
Coming.
Alright, something's a bit exaggerated, but what can they do?
I mean, exactly. This lady magically cured a village. She's a witch, just burn her.
Yeah, the witch trials.
Somewhere they were like, hey, the witch trials were probably shrooms. Yeah, so somebody just started picking up shrooms, and they didn't know that they were, psychoactive. They didn't know what that was. And they just cooked it in the stew, and everyone started seeing creepy shit. And everyone was like, ah! Witches! I think that's what happened. I legit think that. Because, what else would explain... Well, besides lying, who knows? Maybe somebody was just pissed at these ladies, and they were like, let's burn them.
No, probably.
I think... Oh, my God. I remember I had a buddy that once said, yo... What if the witch trials, that was just a weird, kinky old man that liked to see the ladies' clothes burn off? And I was like, okay, buddy.
Apparently, I saw a video, it was like the spread of capitalism.
The witch trials?
Yeah, and they burned women because they were against it. They sort of they had different ways of living.
They have different ways of living.
So let's say back then they were just in their own town.
They had their own politics.
They had their connection to nature.
They had their own stuff.
Yeah. And then...
the world just kind of...
The academics...
The world just penetrates theirs. Our world penetrated theirs.
Yeah, in a way.
Fuck.
And, it was like a battle. Who's stronger?
I mean...
And the capitalists won.
Because they're men.
Yeah.
Basically,
and also it was like, feminism.
Yeah.
Misogyny.
Yo, that's...
And they needed... Back then, working was important.
It was. Like back then, nothing happened if you didn't work. You know.
Yeah.
That old dude is always here. He seems cool.
He's working out. Guess he was in the army, dude.
But yeah, about this book. But we'll get back on that feminism shit later. Cause like, you know, let's talk about that now. The internet kind of has a thing with I understand the feminazis really fucked with our perspective on women's rights. Because they just took it to a whole other extreme, and they flipped the script, and oh, everybody's evil except women, and everyone, even women, were like, what the fuck? No, don't be dumb. And then they started infiltrating.
I heard that had roots in, like, I guess the descendants of, like, the witches in some ways. It was weird.
I don't know,
because
usually
they're well read.
But that's the thing; they're not that well read either. They're more.
They read, but they get.
They read. Emotions. No, I don't think they read that much facts. Cause like when you hear them talk, their numbers are wrong. A lot of the time, their numbers are made up. Cause like
people don't get their facts right.
No, sometimes they just make shit up on the spot, and you're like, what the fuck?
We should do. What is that?
Is that guy just throwing?
Oh, he's going to the cat.
Oh, okay. Ya le iba a hacer lo pítala la basura. Oh my god, that cat took the whole thing.
Bro, cats.
Yo, cats are, you know, they're mini tigers we just have. That's cute. Anyway, about the book. Let's not stray. We'll get back on the feminism stuff later.
How's it like nowadays? Has it subsided? Or is it just like taking a different form?
What?
Like feminism stuff?
Oh, well,
it has affected
you know what?
politics.
That's a whole episode we could do.
We need to do research on that.
Yeah, let's put that on pause. In the next episode, next time we get the let's do that.
Okay.
Alright, real quick. The next bulletin, the next topic on this book is communism and how it sucks. It's basically just them demonizing communism, which I understand. I don't like communism or socialism. I don't. But I can't say I hate it because I still haven't read the Communist Manifesto. Does the socialism have one too?
They sort of relate.
Do they have a manifesto or do they share?
It depends. Because it started with Karl Marx.
It did. Karl Marx and...
The birth of him.
Who was the other guy?
Lenin? He started the revolt.
Wait, I think it's here somewhere. Let me get that.
It had good intentions.
Well, like, bro, look at this imagery. Like, okay, automatically, once we start...
That's the internet now.
Bro, once we start with communism, enemy of all freedom, the first thing right next to the table of contents...
Have you heard about this?
Dude, right next to this table of contents, it's just a huge picture of a fucking octopus... over the planet, and it says, "Know your communist enemy." You see, now that's the extremism that I just can't get behind. You know?
In some ways, it's true.
It is true. But you can't demonize anything, because then...
You know what's the most dangerous virus?
What?
Ideas.
Yeah. That's why they have cleansing.
That's what... They last
re-education centers and all that stuff. That's what China's doing. I'm scared of China.
They're just suppressing people.
I'm actually really worried, to be honest. Like China?
Yeah.
And all that stuff. Because, like, you know, I didn't think about stuff like that before until I wanted to join the military. And then all this happened, and then in one day I was like, wait a minute, whoa, real time, real life, you're actually gonna go to war against China one day, and they're not, you know, some fucking shitty farmers that got an AK-47 in the Middle East that you can destroy really easy. Because that's the thing, the United States has been fighting a war that's going on forever, but they were fighting it. I must say, you know, in the Middle East, and they don't got the same technology. Imagine fighting another power that has the same technologies that you do. It's gonna be an even fight, and a lot of people are gonna die. I genuinely think World War III is gonna be with China.
China.
And yeah, I'm scared. But back to the book though. Yeah, you're right. The internet is just this image.
You know what? Those big guys, Amazon.
Yeah.
They've lost their mind.
Yes, they have.
They're trying to take over the world, but just
The one thing this little part was lacking was like, cause like this is what the table of contents says on the communist stuff. How communism began, the democratic provisional government, the death of the provisional government, what communism stands for, communism's offensive, a bunch of stuff, and the steps after the takeover, and yada yada yada. But the one thing it lacked was a summary of the Communist Manifesto. Because I need to understand what I'm gonna hate, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't just hate because someone told.
You can't just hate because I'm supposed to. I can't do that.
Some people are like that.
And to be honest, like, I found this very same book on Amazon for like crazy cheap. It was like $1.
$1.
You know? And I was like, no, that can't be real. And it was the same copy that I have right here. And I was like, whoa, these guys really want you to read it if it's just $1. Now, if they really wanted you to read it, it would be free.
Yeah.
I already had this copy, so, interesting. I don't remember much about the one that I'm going to read about you now, the Why Public Schools. All I know is that I felt a lot of bullshit come out of this chapter.
What?
I just kind of...
First, remember, different perspective.
It is 1977 when this was written.
Yeah.
Or published or whatever. But I felt kind of like... I understand, educating a whole country is difficult. It's hard. But once we got to the part of... Because, the table of contents is really short. This one's like really short. It's American colonies and education. Our government and education. Who was to control and administer, and then you get to equality. And it didn't sound sincere.
What?
Like what they said about equality, it did not sound sincere. It just sounded like, you know what I mean? Like.
What are those guys supposed to be upholding, though?
I don't know. Once you got the free enterprise, it's just a bunch of gloat. I enjoyed this one, though. Especially the one about freedom and adventure. But most importantly, opportunity. That was interesting. But besides that, I would recommend this. But I wouldn't recommend this to be read and be taken into its entirety or seriously. I would recommend it as to give you perspective,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I read it too fast. Maybe I'm overthinking about it, but it was a bit wacky sometimes.
Bit wacky?
It was a bit wacky sometimes. Well, I mean, history is wacky. Yeah. Have you been reading anything lately?
Siddhartha, the book you...
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's about...
So
mostly
far,
about Buddhism.
So far, how far are you in?
Just a couple pages.
Yeah, same. I was given that And I read the first couple pages, then I was like, no, like I don't have the patience for this. And see that I gave it to you because I'm really not interested in the Buddhist stuff. But I would like to hear your thoughts about it.
Well, like I said, I still haven't finished it. But it's mostly like this coming of age story. Trying to find purpose.
Is Siddhartha a character, or is it the name of...
It's like an Indian word.
Is it a Buddhist thing, or is it just a story?
It's a spiritual thing.
It's a spiritual.
It's like a journey.
Fuck.
So
Yeah, that's the thing about like Eastern. I don't know what you could call it. Eastern spirituality.
Yeah. It's very influential.
They have very interesting literature.
Yeah.
But I've been wanting to read The Monkey King.
Mm-hmm.
I've been meaning to read that, but I can't find it for free. I bet I can. I just gotta
What is
work hard. Okay. Did you see Dragon Ball? Not Dragon Ball Z. The original Dragon Ball. When Goku was a kid.
I think a couple episodes, but I don't remember. He had a tail?
Yeah. They took heavy ass inspiration on. I noticed when I do that shit. I rewatch shows, cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw a video online and it said what really inspired Dragon Ball, and my fucking 14-year-old weeaboo ass was like, woo!
Well, here we go.
Here we go! And it blew my mind, and I was like, I gotta read this. And then, some time passed and I completely forgot about it, because, school.
Yeah.
And then I saw a movie on Netflix called Journey to the West. This was horrible production quality. I'm talking about, one of those Chinese movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like Iceman.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen that? It's garbage. Oh, but I bet it's actually good. I just have to see it without being spoiled by, Disney's quality. But still, I was like, holy shit, that's that Monkey King shit that you were talking about. YouTube, me talking to YouTube. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna find this book. I'm actually gonna read it. I found it on Amazon. It was so expensive. This was at the time before I knew about PDF Drive. I think that knowledge should be free.
There's just different types of knowledge.
There is. Because, okay, isn't it interesting how, a lot of public domain, you can just get a free copy online legally. It's public domain. No one can make money out of that. So, I stupidly paid $5 for a used copy of Moby Dick when I could have read it for free on my phone. Or on my computer. I don't like reading on my phone. I like reading on my laptop. Because I can really make the letters big. And I don't have to strain my eyes. Don't get me wrong, I love reading on paper. But my hands start to cramp. Because, okay, do you like hardcover or paperback?
Hardcovers are better.
I fucking love paperbacks. Because I can fold.
Yeah, paperbacks are better because they're more malleable.
Because I can fold it and just hold it on one hand. But I've been told that's really bad for the book itself.
Yeah.
And I say, fuck you. But okay, that thrift store right next to our school? They have a shit ton of books there. I'm talking about 10 cents for a huge, juicy book. They don't always have good stuff, but when I went there, bro, I'm gonna say 50% of my books come from there. Dude, okay, I got 60, stuff from the 60s, college publications from the 60s. Have you ever read a book or heard of a book called It's a Playboy World?
No.
I'm gonna reread it and do a review on that. I'm gonna see if I don't know if I can find a link so you guys can read it, or if I can't find one, I'm genuinely thinking about scanning it and just making up that link myself, cause it's so relevant to nowadays, and it's from the 60s. Same thing happened with Barbara Ward's Spaceship Earth, bro. I read all this shit a couple years ago. I gotta reread it. But we also don't got that much time to cause if I start talking about that, we're gonna be here all day. So I'm gonna hold it.
Alright.
But I also found The Color Purple. Have you read that?
No. There's a lot I haven't read.
When I say read, I mean, have you heard of it?
No.
Okay, you remember that Stephen Spielberg movie with Whoopi Goldberg? That's the movie version of this book, and the movie version fucking sucks. The movie sucked because they left so much out of the book. I'm telling you, the book is better. But that book is hardcore. Alright? It's about the life of this stupid, like, she's retarded. This retarded,
Oh, it's like Forrest Gump or Sling Blade.
Okay, imagine Forrest Gump minus the happy ending. And she's a black woman from, like, those days, if you know what I mean. Back in the day when
what year though?
When slavery was a thing.
Ooh.
Yeah. And this was right after slavery. So, you know, there's a lot of KKK stuff and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I read it skeptical. I thought it was like, you know, I came with all that 2017 information about feminism, and I was like, oh, this is just gonna be another fucking crybaby fest about how men are evil and how white men are evil. And I thought it was gonna be that, like, oh, here we go. But I read it and I was shook.
You were shook.
The first page is a graphic depiction, because it's a strain of her thought, right? And she's like a little girl. She's like, what, 10 or something, 12? And, you know, she's slow. So let's say, you know, she has the mentality of a 6-year-old there. And it just starts off with, oh, my mom died, and we're gonna bury her today, and blah blah blah, and now I live with my uncle, and then he grabbed my pussy, and I was, what?
Okay.
Like, the first page it's the train of thought of a child getting raped. The fuck? And the first page just captures you, and you gotta read the whole thing now. Now here's the interesting thing, it does not have chapters. It's just one thing. It does have, like, because the whole book is a compilation of her letters to God.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a little girl all the way until she becomes an adult, and it's a compilation of just her writing letter. And every new letter starts out with "Dear God," and it's so tragic. But as she gets older, the letters start becoming to somebody else. I think it was her sister, and you know, the whole thing. You know, seeing this whole story being told through letters and tragedy, holy fuck. And the movie did it no justice. The movie sucked. Anyone that likes the movie